You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Straight out of Compton, crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube. From the gang called niggas with attitudes. When I'm called off, I got a sawed off. Squeeze the trigger and bodies are hauled off. You too, boy, if you fuck with me.
Welcome to a very special edition of The Road to Hollywood. As you hear from our intro, we've got one of the architects of the world's most dangerous group right here. Look at the image. This is DJ YELLA from the original, and there he is in the flesh. Welcome, YELLA. What's up?
Oh, not too much.
Man, it's great to have you. I mean, we got so much we're celebrating right now. We want to go all the way back. We want to talk about the future, the present. You know, obviously we're gearing up for the big IES Hip Hop Honors, where we're inducting N.W.A. It's a real pleasure to have you a part of that. Why don't we just go back all the way? You know, like they say, let's go all the way back. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved in music and kind of how that led to, you know, World Class Wrecking Crew and Meet and Dre and all that. Give us the history.
Well, I used to be a DJ in L.A. at a club called the Penthouse. I was a DJ there first, and that's where me and Dre first originally met. You know, it was supposed to
What year was that?
I would say about 83, maybe.
Wow.
82, 83.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we first met. You know, we just clicked when we first met. So, and then we started seeing hiring like Curtis Blow, Run DMC came and did their first show in L.A. And it was like, me and Dre looked at him like, okay, we can do that. You know, 10-minute show. They got paid, you know, a few $1,000s. We're like, okay, that ain't hard to do.
No band, no drums?
Nothing.
Wow.
A couple of songs. That's all it was, just a couple of songs. But then, you know, we started playing with the music, started doing it. You know, no musician. I was the only musician. I can play the drums, but that was it. You know, we tell people what we want to hear, you know, keyboard, you know, play this, play that. But so we started with the Wrecking Crew, a couple of slow songs. You know, we wasn't, you know, making no money or nothing, so we was just doing it more for the music, just fun of it. So we started doing that.
So a couple of those Wrecking Crew songs kind of got a little local buzz.
Yeah, more like the local and in the South. They loved us in the South, Texas and all up in there, Mississippi, all that.
Arkansas.
Yeah, I mean they loved us. So, you know, after that we just moved on. You know, to N.W.A. and Eazy and all this, because he already knew E already from the neighborhood. So we all met. You know, end up making the group together. You know, just the Wrecking Crew was like an experience for us. Right. No money, but we gained experience. So when we started doing N.W.A., it was still not about money. It was just about just doing music.
It was fun and trying to figure out how to get paid for it.
Yeah. But you know something, we really didn't think about music. That was like in the later years. The beginning was like Straight Outta Compton album. You know, yeah, you want to make money, but we wasn't thinking about money. We made the record first. Then we started thinking about money. But it just happened to just blow up, I guess.
Wow. Well, let's talk about that little transition from the Wrecking Crew, you know, with Lonzo and E basically saying, hey, guys, you know, come with me. I think this street rap. I mean, what was he listening to? Was Ice-T just coming out? What were you guys hearing besides that New York stuff? Uncle Jam's Army, what was it that kind of led you to say, hey, there's a different path and, you know, E's our guy to help put it together?
Well, you know, E was more, it was more Dre, to tell you the truth. It was more Dre. It was just, you know, the Wrecking Crew was fast music, you know, techno. It wasn't called techno, but that's what it was. So we just, you know, decided to slow it down, rap harder, you know. Cursing on the record, that was unheard of back then. So, you know, it just blended so easily and so well. You know, we learned so much from the Wrecking Crew, what not to do. You know, okay, we ain't gonna do that no more. So it's like, it's hard to explain. It was just such a smooth transition. You know, even though it was quite a while, but it was a pretty good smooth transition to go from that one to the N.W.A.
Now, obviously, you know, cursing on the records. You knew you weren't going to get any airplay. But did you feel that at that point there was outlets to get it to the street? The streets obviously want to hear it real and raw.
More like the Ma and Paul stores. That was our stuff. Swap meets and stuff like underground. Because we no radio play, no video. MTV banned us, so we didn't have any. It's amazing that we did so well with no radio play.
Right.
I mean, I'm still shocked. Even though we made a whole radio version album to sell in like Targets and stuff like that. So
kids didn't want that.
Oh yeah.
They took that one back.
Oh yeah.
Well, we know, our beloved Violet Brown was right in there with at the Rhodium, and talk about your earliest experience seeing people like Violet and everything kind of pick it up.
Well, it was like it was more like Violet, Steve Yano from the Rhodium. I mean, that was well, me and Dre actually started there with mixed tapes. We was the first to make mixed tapes. Bootlegs, that's what they really were.
Right. So you just took the hits off the radio and
put
them on a cassette back then?
Cassette, yep. And we also did them for K-Day, the mixes.
Okay.
The Traffic Jam.
Talk about when K-Day popped up. At what point in N.W.A.'s development did this AM radio station that was ready to play all rap? And when did that come into play?
That came in, it was the Wrecking Crew days.
Okay.
When we started doing the Traffic Jam mix show at 5 o'clock. So, every day, 5 o'clock, Dre do a mix one day, I do a mix one day. And that's what started us with the little hookup at K-Day. So then we actually the Wrecking Crew was on K-Day too. We had a couple of songs on there. But when it got time for the N.W.A., it was very easy to do. Because we had already been there, Traffic Jams, for a while. We was the originals. So by the time Boys in the Hood came through, it just slipped right on in. Simple. Greg was behind us 100%. I mean, it was wonderful, beautiful.
So even though it was AM and it was small, it was an outlet that people would seek just because they weren't hearing that anywhere else on a radio.
Oh yeah, I mean horrible sound. You go if it's nighttime, you go an hour away from the city. That's it. You don't get it. But it was the hottest thing for rap back then. The only station. It was another one called Cat or something, but it didn't play rap. So, but K-Day was it. That's all we had out here. No video, MTV, nothing on there but pop or something like that. So that was it. K-Day was it.
Well, I know you'd obviously been making music for some time, the Wrecking Crew, and then, you made that record, N.W.A. and the Posse, whatever you were calling that at the time. But let's talk about the development of the seminal album, Straight Outta Compton. That's what we're celebrating this year at IES Hip Hop Honors. We're celebrating that landmark album that not only laid the blueprint for so many people, obviously, what Cube and Dre and so many people have done since then, off that family tree. Talk about the making that record. Now, we know you recorded it, Audio Achievements. Yeah. We're bringing down Donovan Smith, who, taught you guys, to record in a bigger room. Talk about how you met Donovan and just the development, the making, the writing of those songs, how Straight Outta Compton came together. Well,
we actually met Donovan in the Wrecking Crew days. We did all the Wrecking Crew and Audio Achievements. So by the time we graduated to N.W.A., we had already knew the boards. We mixed our own stuff, everything. We recorded. Donovan would come in and, had to hook up mics or, whatever. But we started recording everything ourselves. So making the album was, it didn't take us but 3 or 4 weeks to make that album. We would just, boom. Me and Dre in the, studio, track come out, Cube, Ren, everybody come with the vocals, bam. And just that quick. I mean, it take us, we didn't make demos. We never made any kind of demos. So what we did, all the tracks, it's funny, there's no extra songs laying around from N.W.A. Because we did all the songs right then,
So did Cube and Ren, did they write to the beats that you were making, or how did they come in with a rap and you found a beat to match it? What was the process of some of these classics?
Most of the time, the track is made, and then sometimes the title or the concept of the song. That's what mostly happens. And, they write to the track most of the time. Rarely they came in with words. They always rapped to the beat, to the songs, to get the feeling and what the title is. The title was, a lot to do with the songs too. Just the script like writing a movie. The title was
somebody came in with a concept.
Oh, yeah.
After Police.
Yeah.
Gangsta, Straight Outta Compton. Let's talk about the concept of that song. We heard it in the intro of the show, Straight Outta Compton. I know when we interviewed Cube, we're going to hear that in a second here. He was saying it was unheard of because everybody considered being from Compton when you were from L.A.
Yeah.
And to actually come out and say, no, we're from this part of L.A. Compton is actually a place.
Yeah.
And to boldly call that the song title. Talk about when you first heard that concept, or how did it become called Straight Outta Compton?
I think it was more like just telling people where we from. Telling them what it's all about in Compton. How the police mess with you. How what's going on. We was like reporters back then, telling you what happens on the street. These wasn't fairy tale songs. We may not have done it, but we've seen it or heard about it or something like that. So what made it so simple is they wrote to what they know. So that's what made it simple. That's what it made it, a little rough and, hard and stuff. Because it was real things that happened back in Compton.
Okay, great. Well, we're going to go to a little clip. We just interviewed Ice Cube on the Kings of the Mic tour. That, of course, was LL Cool J, Ice Cube, Public Enemy, and De La Soul. The music is still living. I mean, they're playing Straight Outta Compton. They're playing so many of these classic songs still live. The people still want to hear it. We're so excited. Again, our special guest this week is DJ YELLA from N.W.A. We're talking about the IES Hip Hop Honors coming up. We're going to have details on the event. Lots more great stories coming right up. We're going to go backstage right now with Ice Cube on the Kings of the Mic tour. More on the road to Hollywood. Making Straight Outta Compton. What were you thinking? What was the feeling? What was in your mind at the time?
Well, we knew that we had a style that was working. We had dropped some singles, Boys in the Hood, Dope Man, 8 Ball. So we knew we had a formula. So doing the album, it was kind of exciting, It was like practice, and then you finally get in the game, And we were so ready, and so what people don't know is we were in a little creative competition with each other lyrically, and we wanted to have the best songs, because everybody had individual songs, on that album, and so the friendly competition between us really is what made everybody elevate their game to that next level.
After Police, that was, monstrous. I mean, when you made it, was there any hesitancy, like, are we going to get away with this? Is this going to fly? Or was it just, hey, this is what we're feeling, whether they buy it or not?
Well, when I first presented the song to Dre, he initially didn't want to do the song because he was going through his issues with the police. He had an ankle bracelet, and they had him doing weekends, where he would have to go check in the county Friday and get out Monday. And he was like, nah, man, they got my ass. I mean, they got me under their thumb. They hear this song, they gonna fuck me up in there. So after we decided to do the album, because I presented that song before we released Gangsta Gangster, so after it was time to do the album, Dre, he had cleared his stuff up a little bit, so he was down then because the police had just stopped him and Eazy and laid them in the middle of the street because they were driving around shooting their paintball guns out the window. So he thought they was doing drive-bys, so they laid him down. Paintballing was new, so the police didn't really know what the gun was, so they was mad about that. So they was like, it was time, let's do it. this is our only weapon.
And how about Boys in the Hood?
The song?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wrote that for Eazy. You know, it was like a commission thing. You know, I had wrote a hit song with Dre. Well, it was a local hit with the Wrecking Crew. It used to be a dance called the Cabbage Patch, which was named after the Cabbage Patch doll for some fucking reason. But it was this dance called the Cabbage Patch that youngsters used to do. So Dre, we wrote a song about it for the Wrecking Crew, and it was like their first song that they was finally starting to get playing locally. And Eazy was trying to start Ruthless, and he had a group called HBO, and he was like, yo, write a song for him. And I wrote Boys in the Hood, but they was from New York, so they didn't really understand Boys in the Hood. They didn't understand the lingo and 6'4" and getting ganked and a gat and GTA, you know, so they didn't want to do the song, you know, they didn't want to do it. And Dre kind of convinced Eazy that he had a cool sounding voice, that he can do it. And that's kind of how Eazy started to record that song. He always wanted to put Compton on the map. You know, people were embarrassed of Compton before N.W.A. I mean, you know, Compton was a place where you'll see a lowrider in one yard and a chicken in another front yard. You know what I mean? It was still kind of, you know, people from the South who were real country, and they still wanted to keep that flavor, you know. So people were a little embarrassed of Compton. It was real, you know, poor and a lot of crime and a lot of gang banging. So Eazy wanted to put Compton on the map. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to put Compton on the map, and he wanted to, you know, because everybody was yelling, you know, Brooklyn's in the house, and Staten Island, and Queens, and the Bronx. So he was like, yo, Compton's in the house too. So Straight Outta Compton was Eazy's thought and title and dream of putting.
What did the song mean to you?
Well, it meant, you know, Compton, I'm from South Central. You know, I'm the only one that wasn't from Compton, California. So it meant that we had a crew, you know what I'm saying, and that we was definitely going to put Compton on the damn map, you know what I'm saying? And I was with that because LA needed to be on the map in any kind of way, shape, or form, outside of them thinking that we was all at the beach and shit, you know what I mean? And surf, you know, like it was surfing sun out in LA, which it is, but, you know, go a little deeper inland and it can get a little hairy. So we want to, you know, I was down with it.
Yeah. Tell us about your greatest memories of Eazy, meeting him, or just what he meant to you, or what he did for the group.
I met him, you know, he was with Dre. He had like showed up, you know, he used to pop up to events that the Wrecking Crew would do. And, you know, I could tell he had money because he was dressed fly, you know what I mean? He had on feelers and, you know, sweatsuits and all the shit that was fly back then.
Yeah.
And he had, you know, you just tell he had a little paper on him. And he would hang out, and eventually he wanted to get out the game he was in and start doing records because he saw not how easy it was, but how accessible it was through Dre, that, damn, here's somebody I went to school with making records. I can do the same thing. And so, you know, that's kind of how he started to come around more. You know, once he knew I can rhyme and stuff like that, that's when we started getting a better relationship. And he was just, you know, smart, innovative. He had vision. You know, he's a mastermind, really, behind N.W.A.
And how about Dre? Like I said, we're celebrating 30 years you guys get together. What's your greatest memory about when you met, and what was it that clicked? What made you guys such a great team together?
I'm a great student. I pay attention.
Yeah.
I contribute. Not scared to give good ideas or give bad ideas or whatever. I'm gonna give my opinion, and I think he liked that about me, because when you work with somebody as good as Dre, people tend to be like, okay, Dre, what you want me to do? But producers really don't that's nothing to work with. You know, you got to give them something to work with to get some traction, and he'll take it from there. So I always had ideas, and for some reason, he always listened to me. You know, he always was open for what I was going after, because he knew that I was thinking about it on a different level. You know, so we work good together. You know.
Welcome back to the Road to Hollywood. We are so excited tonight. We're talking all things N.W.A., the world's most dangerous group, straight out of Compton, celebrating all those great years. The music is timeless. I mean, you listen to it today, it still sounds as great as it did in '87. So our special guest tonight is DJ YELLA. He's one of the architects of N.W.A. and, frankly, the whole West Coast gangster rap movement, hip-hop, whatever you want to call it. YELLA, tell us about when you first heard that word gangster rap. You know, where'd that come from, and did you felt it felt, or you guys, you know, outgrew it, or what was that term mean to you?
When I first heard it, it had to come from the media.
Okay.
I guess they was trying to put a name on the music, street music, you know, gangster. You know, somebody just, we look like gangsters, you know. Well, I guess we talk like them, so they put the tag on us, and it was just like history. You know, that was just the start of it. You know, we didn't know it would last 30 years later.
It was like a whole new genre, and you guys were at the forefront of so much new, because, again, besides our friend Ice-T, who was actually on a major label, if you can believe that,
yeah.
You guys were at the forefront of this independent thing that came off the streets. You know, obviously Macola had their little system going with all the street singles, all the vinyl happening and everything. But you guys were at the forefront of what became a juggernaut of Priority Records, and then formed your own label, Ruthless Records. Talk about that entrepreneurial spirit that Eazy-E had, and in conjunction with Jerry Heller and the team, where you guys said, hey, let's not just, you know, give this new label priority to these records. Let's start making records of our own. Talk about the development of what became Ruthless Records, above and beyond Straight Outta Compton and Eazy Does It.
I mean, well, the main key was independent. You know, originally we wanted to get on the label, but the label didn't want us. You know, so the next thing was, okay, let's do it ourselves. You know, so really from the Wrecking Crew, it started independent. So now Eazy came right in and said, hey, we can sell some records. And then somehow, you know, Priority came around. And, you know, but the key Eazy was he didn't want to be on a label without his logo. The whole record, you know, back then it was vinyl. So the whole record had said Ruthless, red. It was a certain color red, and other people just, for some reason, could not produce that red. And he was, like, real funny about that. He said, it's going to be my label, you know, I want my logo. And that was the key. It was having his logo on it. You know, then Priority came and was the backbone. So the independent just, back then, was the way to go.
So at that point, it was just the avenue to get out. But Eazy was ahead of his time, where he said, look, we may be going through this label, but we want to build our brand.
Oh, yeah.
And tell us, where did the name Ruthless come from? You know, what did that stand to mean? When the first time you heard it, you said, yeah, that's it.
Ruthless, it was just like, okay, that sounds pretty good. You know, that sounds street. You know, it don't sound corny or nothing like that. It was just like different. It was a different kind of name. You know, other names was Epic, you know, just weird kind of names. Island and 4th and Broadway. But Ruthless, it was like us, like the image, N.W.A, straight out of Compton. It was just something, it was strong. It was just a strong title name for a logo and for a company. So it was just unique. That's what it was.
Well, we know those two records, you know, Straight Outta Compton and Eazy Does It, are, synonymous. I mean, they both came out at the same time, it seemed like, and I know it was pretty much the same crew working on those records, even though Eazy was the front man. Where was it determined that Eazy was going to have his own record in addition to the group and, coexist with you guys?
Well, the key was, two groups from the same one group. That was just ahead of his time right there. It was Eazy Does It. It was his album, but it was really us, So
it was kind of like George Clinton and Funkadelic.
Same concept, just in the 80s. Mm-hmm. And the thing was, the key to Eazy was he wasn't a great rapper. It was the sound. It was the sound and the look of him. Everybody thought he was 15. It was amazing. But his voice was just so unique. And Cube writing the words, and it just all clicked. I mean, it clicked like somebody wrote this story. It's amazing it happened like that.
That's great. So now I know when that record came out, it was like an atom bomb, like you say, when we heard, F the Police, when we heard Straight Outta Compton, we heard the amazing tunes that just seemed like it opened up the floodgates to like, wow, we can really say anything. We really don't have to hold our tongue and, fake what we want to say or, find another word for it, Fuck the Police was loud and clear.
Yeah.
Talk about some of the reactions. Like, obviously you expected some reactions, but, when that came out, and obviously, law enforcement got a little riled up, the FBI, some of the FBI took it upon themselves to send a letter to Priority, like, what the hell are you guys doing over there? Talk about the reaction that you guys started to get, and I know as you start playing more and more shows, certain law enforcement didn't want to work the show, or there was tensions. You guys were ahead of your time, like Marilyn Manson or something coming to town.
Yeah, I mean,
with her picketing.
Yeah, I mean, it was the key when people heard the song, they could relate, especially people from the ghetto. They knew, you get pulled over, face down, lay in the dirt, or whatever it is in the street. They knew that's how it was in the ghetto, so they could relate. And there's so many other people, whether it's from from the valley or, anywhere else, they could relate too, because some that, they might have got a parking ticket, might have got a speeding ticket. And they always wanted to turn around and point a finger at a cop. And we happened to be the ones that did it. And almost, almost got in trouble. Matter of fact, our tour, in the contract was us not to play the song. And we didn't play that till like in the middle of the tour in Detroit, when everything went crazy. But we was told not to play that song. So, and then the FBI.
This is on multiple dates or a certain show?
The whole show, the whole tour.
Oh wow!
Yeah, 40 shows, and then we was told not to play that song because the police, they wouldn't, the insurance or something, was going on, and the FBI that didn't do nothing but just blow it up even more.
Well, we figured that because obviously the FBI cannot make an official announcement about some art. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This is some damn music. I mean, it's not like you guys were, blowing up the Twin Towers or anything. I mean, this is damn music, made in a room in Torrance. I mean, how can, someone in the FBI take it upon themselves to send a letter? I know they probably thought it was off the record and just, hey, you guys, what the hell, you spurring out here, just like Cop Killer a few years later.
Yeah.
But what the hell is going on? But from the story it goes, Brian Turner and everybody at Priority was nervous for a minute, like, oh shit, the FBI is watching us. And then after they thought about it for 5 minutes, they're like, man, this is like I say, like Ozzy Osbourne or Marilyn Manson getting banned, the Rolling Stones getting banned from the Ed Sullivan Show. It's like the greatest thing that could happen.
Yeah.
The kids want what you tell them they can't have.
Oh, yeah.
So, all of a sudden, the FBI is saying, we don't like this record. This record is banned. It's underground. You can't play it live. Man, where is it? I got to hear it,
Yeah.
So that was an amazing run, that you guys had. What do you think it is? Let's talk about some of the individual members, because obviously, Cube has gone on to an incredible career of his own. as a writer. His voice is still prevalent out there, even when he's making movies. I don't care if he's making a kids' TV show.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing like O'Shea Jackson. You know, let's talk about the magic. And obviously, it was volatile. You know, at some point there. But what did you see behind the scenes that made Ice Cube the legend that he is?
I mean, he was just great. Come up with words quick. You know, don't take him long. You know, he just boom verse. You know, E's verse, Dre's verse. You know, he just was smooth.
Prolific.
Yeah. I mean, great. I mean, and, you know, at the time it seemed crazy when he left. But, you know, as you see, it was a great move. I mean, wonderful move. You know, it was, he just talented. You know, that's the word, talented. I mean, he's great. You know, we talk often, you know, every once in a while, and just, you know, just good to hear the voice again, you know, but I'm glad he's doing excellent, great. I mean, hey, we came from the same core.
Yeah, it was almost like no group could contain him, you know. He had so much talent, so much to say, you know, it couldn't fit into anything other than his own platform, you know. Yeah. And obviously, you know, Ren was right there, you know, with the writing and that voice, you know, really stood out.
Yeah.
Obviously, we haven't seen the longevity that Cube had, but talk about what made Ren so, you know, effective, you know, on Straight Outta Compton.
I think Ren is the voice, strong, you know. I mean, people love Ruthless Villain. I mean, it's hard to say. It's just like we was characters, you know. Just somebody just molded us perfect, you know. His voice was just, I mean, strong. His lyrics were strong. I mean, it was just, you know, another talented person. You know, it's like an all-star group. You know, it's really like somebody really sat in a room and said, "We're gonna make this all-star group," and it's amazing. You can see people still doing well after this. So it was ahead of his time. That's the key. And Ren, you know, hey, he had the strongest voice in the group. That's for sure. He sure did.
So now with him, it was kind of like he was the foil to Cube. I mean, it was the yin and the yang. It was those 1-2 punch. It was like having, you know, the leadoff hitter and the cleanup guy right behind him. I mean, it was that, you know, that duo out front that really gave you the power that one could deliver, and then while one's catching their breath, the other guy's right on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was like, you know, 1-2 punch. Perfect. That's the perfect example. I mean, left and the right. You know, just Cube had his sound, Ren had his sound. And they both just matched together. I mean, just, it's like beautiful music to my ears.
Well, again, we can't get enough of the album. We had Violet Brown on our last show, and she said, to this date, this is still one of her favorite albums of all time. You know, not only was it great sounding, you know, it just, the clarity, what you guys were saying, it was such a fresh perspective. Yeah. But, you know, everything since then's kind of taken a little chip off the old tree, and nobody's really matched it, you know, as far as that groundbreaking. You know, Public Enemy did their thing. I mean, there was a few groups that came in. You know, obviously West Side Connection was almost an attempt to like reassemble a group, you know, around Cube to have that kind of foil, again, with the 1-2-3 type punch. Yeah. Now let's talk about Dr. Dre. Andre Young, I mean, you go all the way back. You're talking about 83.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we celebrating right now? 30th anniversary of you guys working together? Yeah. I mean, that's amazing. Talk about, you know, just working around him, because obviously you were right there with him, co-producing, you know, Straight Outta Compton, Easy Does It. You guys had a string, you know, of so many albums that came out of Audio Achievements and Ruthless. You know, talk about, you know, the inside of working with Dre and just watching his talent, you know, develop and blossom. And what was that like?
You know, I just noticed 30 years. Wow. I've been knowing him that long. That's pretty good. You know, when I talk to him, you know, we still talk the same, you know, like it's 30 years ago. But he was so, I would say, talented ain't good enough. He was just, he can see ahead. I mean, he could see the beat before the beat even get here. It's amazing. I mean, he got some kind of gift that's out of this world. I'm telling you. I haven't seen no other producer like him at all. I mean, he ain't made a record in, what, years? And still top dog out there. You know, it's just that talent. And he can just hear things and just, yeah, like this. Let's do it like this. You know, just, you know, we go all the way back to the Wrecking Crew days, you know, DJing together. And it was just, you know, to see him develop, you know, from a youngster to now, you know, got to be one of the top hip-hop producers ever, you know, ever. And it just, it's really no words to describe him. You can't really, the words are not good enough. You know, it's just, that's how much talent he got. He just, you know, he's awesome, to tell you the truth. I mean, a great friend, but he got an ear like nobody else got. I mean, a great ear. And he can just, certain sound. You hear his music, it sounds a certain way, you know. He likes mixing it a certain way, so, you know. And he's a perfectionist. I mean, I thought I was a perfectionist, but he's a real perfectionist. I mean, he don't let nothing come out without it being perfect.
Wow. Well, we've seen the development, you know, what you guys built, you know, with N.W.A. and with Ruthless, and obviously so much, you know, more great music. And, you know, I mean, look at this. You're wearing his headphones. You know, they're about to release some big new streaming service that might rival on iTunes or something like that. So, you know, obviously the match with him and, you know, Jimmy Iovine was a great marriage. You know, we're going to come back. We're going to be talking about the IES Hip Hop Honors. I mean, we're talking right here. You know, the induction of N.W.A. is our supreme pleasure to reassemble so many people from the past, so many people that help you make these records, get these albums out. They were a part of the whole family tree that grew up from that. You know, we're extremely excited to have you involved in it. We know it's going to be a night of great pleasure. If you haven't already got registered for IES, it's the only way to get in. There's no tickets for the honors. But we're going to go to a little promo right now with a few of the people talking about how special this night's going to be, how important this is to not only the West Coast, but hip-hop and music and entertainment in general. It is the road to Hollywood. We're coming right back with our special guest, DJ YELLA, from the world's most dangerous group. It is N.W.A. right here on the road to Hollywood.
What's poppin'? It's Kendrick Lamar, shouting out Indie Power, you dig that? And you know why Indie Power? Because that's what I represent. Top Dog Entertainment, been down with me since day one. In order to show and prove yourself to the major labels, you gotta go out here and do the groundwork. And then when you do that, they'll be coming to you, knowing that you got the formula already made where they ain't gotta go out and figure out all type of crazy marketing plans that's not right for you. That's when you lose yourself as an artist. Go out there, show and prove yourself to the world, then get the back, and that's the right way to do it.
Check this out, this your boy Warren G putting it down right now for the IES Hip Hop Honors. It's going down, man.
What's up, this your boy Ice Cube. If you really serious about getting your grime on and doing your thing, you gotta be part of the Indie Entertainment Summit. You know what I mean? You gotta be a part of it, you gotta do your thing. Come, see, learn. Gonna be a lot of heavy hitters out there teaching y'all how to gain ground independently in this business. Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? I want y'all to go to the Eazy-E Tribute IES Indie Entertainment Summit. The Eazy-E Tribute gonna be there August 7th. IES Indie Entertainment Summit. Bone Thugs and Harmony Tribute to Eazy-E. I'll see you there.
Check out IES Hip Hop Honors. Inducted. Hall of Fame, N.W.A, Tupac, Nate Dogg. That's what it is.
Yo, what up? This is DJ QUIK. And to all the aspiring musicians and artists, writers, songwriters, whatever you want to be, you got to be a part of doing you first. And that means independence. I implore you to go to the IES, the Independent Entertainment Summit, and do your thing. Find yourself. It's in North Hollywood, so it ain't too far from you. Ain't no excuses. It's now or never. And you better lose yourself. IES, bitch.
Yeah, you understand me? It's the IES Hip Hop Honors, Corrupt Young Gotti. in the building. It's about time they started respecting some of our legends here on the West. N.W.A, Easy motherfucking E, and Nate motherfucking Dogg, my big brother. Church is the word of the day, and Tupac, Church.
Rest in peace, Nate Dogg. Rest in peace, Eazy-E. Rest in peace, Tupac, man. You guys gonna live forever, man. Shout out to Bone Thugs, DJ QUIK, Cypress Hill. It's all gravy, baby. And my, you know, I'm an underground king for life. Bun B. It's all love, baby.
What's cracking? It's Lil Eazy-E, the Prince of Compton. You know, from the legendary King of Compton, Eazy-E, his first son. And I'm with IES. And make sure you check out the IES Hip Hop Honors inducting N.W.A into the Hall of Fame, man. So if you're serious about your business, you better get with IES, baby.
Check this out. This is Warren G. I want y'all to check out the IES. They doing the Nate Dogg tribute. You better ask somebody. If you don't know, now you know.
Check this out, GLA Dose $sign Eastside in the house. IES Hip Hop Honors. Glasses Malone, I'll be there, and you should be there too. Pay homage, nigga.
What's up, y'all? This King T. Chilling, you know what I'm saying? And if you're about hip hop, you gotta be at the Hip Hop Honors Award where they inducting N.W.A, Tupac, Nate Dogg, and Eazy-E. Come out, check it out, y'all. West Coast is in the house, baby. Peace.
Yo, what up? This is DMX, and you need to feed your mind with IES. Hi, Earl Simmons.
Big tribute coming up for the homeboy Nate Dogg. Is going down like that, and all of the hip hop icons is big, so you better watch it. Check it out.
Come join Bone at IES for the Eazy-E tribute. We got to be there, so you should be there if you really love music and you think about it. Bone Thugs and Harmony, IES tribute to Eazy-E. Be there.
If you in LA, you come to the IES Hip Hop Honors Award tribute for N.W.A, Nate Dogg, and Eazy-E. Thanks to the Z exhibit.
It's going down. Knowledge is wisdom, you know what I'm saying? Y'all need to be at every event IES throw. You heard it. Put a stamp on it. The legendary cocaine. IES in the place to be. I better see you there, you know what I'm saying, and get your wisdom on. Wiz.
Hey, yo, what's up? This is De La Soul.
Yeah, we here on IES.
Word up. Indie Entertainment Summit, y'all.
Right.
If y'all trying to get y'all thing going, make sure you attend LA August, y'all.
Indie Entertainment Summit. Jump check, we sent you there. I'll keep this.
You gonna keep that.
It, y'all. It is IES coming right up. If you're serious about making music, getting your music out there, making your videos, you don't need to sit there and wait for a record company anymore. Get out to iesfest.com. That's the website. Get registered, or you're going to miss it. Our very, very special guest tonight is DJ YELLA. We're talking N.W.A. We're talking about the legendary album Straight Outta Compton that we're going to be dissecting, you know, at the honors. We're going to be getting the guys together that were engineering, that was mastering, that might have helped them mix it, to get the music out, that shot the videos, the photos, you know, and built this family tree to what we know today. There's so much great music that grew from this family tree. I mean, I know, YELLA, you travel around the world, and I know you're going to be going to Dubai soon.
Yeah.
I mean, what is it like to see this music that you made in that room in Compton or Torrance, and now you see people from Dubai and Africa and Australia, man, know the songs and recite the lyrics and maybe formed a group because of your music.
I mean, to me, it's an honor, you know. We never expected it to be talked about 30 years later, 25 years later. Never. If we'd have thought that way, it never would have happened. So we just made what we felt, you know, this is how we are, this is where we're from, these are the kind of lyrics, these kind of beats. And it's just amazing that it's still going. I mean, and so many groups came off of us, you know, from Snoop's, you know, it's a whole list.
Yeah.
You know, just, I mean, it's an honor to me. I mean, it's, you know, it's hard to, you know, I had to pinch myself sometimes. Like, this can't be real, is it?
Because, I mean, when you're making the music, you're just doing your best job. You're doing what's in your heart. It's flowing. You know it's clicking. You get it out there. And that's what's so funny sometimes. People say, you know, did you know you were going to change the world, or did you change because of it? And, I mean, it was just the music that you were making. The public reaction was something you had no control over.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that it had this legacy and this impact around the world, and, you know, almost 30 years later, we're still talking about, you know, artists out there on these big tours, you know, rocking, you know, stadiums and festivals and making that music, and they all look up to, you know, this blueprint. I mean, we're so excited, like I say, to pay honor. What the IES Hip Hop Honors is all about is basically paying tribute to trailblazers. It's not an award show. We're not sitting there at a dinner with a bunch of suits, you know. This is really us saying why we move forward with this Indie Entertainment Summit and teach the next generation how to get their music and their video and their movies out, and how to start up their own tours and start building their brand rather than waiting for some record label to do it for them, or, you know, those days are past.
Oh, yeah.
You got to go out there and really, you know, spark something on your own. But, you know, while we move boldly forward, we take this one eye back and we look back and say, hey, we got to pay tribute, you know, to those Cypress Hills, to those Bone Thugs and Harmony, to those DJ QUIKs, and of course the people that are no longer with us. A very special part of the trailblazing, you know, honors this year is obviously Eazy-E, Tupac, and Nate Dogg. You know, the legacy they left, even KMG from Above the Law, you know, ODB from, you know, Wu-Tang Clan, you know, Pimp C from UGK. The music is one thing that lives on forever, but it's our honor to let some of these younger people just be reminded, you know. We obviously lost Eazy way, way too early, you know, and I know no one had the preparation that he was just going to be gone like that. But the fact that, you know, Bone kept that legacy alive with Crossroads, you know, they continue to pay tribute to E in all their shows. You know, I know you did the solo album, you know, a year after, you know, something for the E, or, you know, all the legacy that you carry on. You know, why is it important to, you know, keep the legacy of Eazy-E alive? Because, you know, when we talked to the Mac 10s and the Bone Thugs and everything, they said that Eazy, besides all the music he made, he was an entrepreneur. He went out and helped spark these careers. He and Jerry, you know, really laid the groundwork for Ruthless. And I know Jerry's quite misunderstood. You know, once Cube left, everybody thought he was just the bad guy. But obviously, he was one of the architects. You know, E had the passion, but, you know, Ruthless as a company would never have grown and blossomed out without the team and the leaders that it had. Talk about why it's so important today to keep the legacy alive, you know, of Eric Wright, Eazy-E.
I guess it's just, you know, show people independent works. It worked then, and now it's going back to independent. You know, it was the days of the big companies. You know, them days is numbered. You know, it's going to be all independent, internet, you know, all that. That's what it's all about now. So keeping his name alive and keeping it going and showing that you can do it. It's not too hard. Don't take a lot of money. Just got to do it. You got to be 100%. You got to love what you do. That's what it's all about. And don't, you know, make this to change to this. You know, you make what you feel, make what you like, and get behind it. You know, you got to get behind it 100%. If you don't, you know, most of the time it fails. You know, that's what we was. We did our music. We didn't make it for the radio. We made it the way we wanted to, and it just caught on, and it just led to all this. So Eazy was 30 years ahead of his time. You know, it's still going on. So you got to pay. You got to give it to them. You got to give it to him. He started this. That's for sure.
Well, he left such a legacy. You know, we think about him every day. I mean, you look at the Masterpiece coming out with No Limit. You know, he took that formula and ran with it. You know, you're seeing, you know, what these independent, you know, entrepreneurs are doing, you know, with their labels. And obviously, like I say, he was well ahead of his time. and you know, seeing Bone out there, you know, doing their thing, paying tribute, you know, all the great music that lives on. You know, I know that you're turning now to a career, you know, as a DJ. And what does that mean to be able to go out to a Dubai or a Europe or Canada or some faraway land, Japan, and be able to still touch the crowd, you know, with that music from the past, remind them, you know, that this music lives on. And, you know, maybe some of them are younger where they're just beginning. Maybe you're playing some songs they've never heard of, but now they're going to go back and add that to their iPod or, you know, get it on their iPad. You know, talk about, you know, being able to take this music out and keep DJ Yella, you know, growing out there in the world.
I mean, it's different because they didn't get to see or hear this music when it was around. You know, most of the people, you know, in Dubai's and Europe's and all that, they're younger, you know, but they love our music. You know, just hip hop. Period. They just love it. So to actually see somebody from the group, you know, they say we legends. You know, I don't feel that way, but you know, it's like different for them. You know, they're like, you know, they out there you get treated like the Beatles or something. You know, it's like wow, but it's just they want to see it. I mean, they love it. Asia, all that, they love hip hop. You know, so if they can get a piece of it, you know, just seeing somebody DJing or something, you know, it's great because think about it. It's 5 in the group. So it ain't too many opportunities to see us at all. So, you know, and plus me, I went back to my old love is DJing. That's what I started. I even talked to Dre about it. He said, man, I want to DJ too, but I don't love it yet. And he asked me, I said, I love it. But that's what I like to do. DJing is right up my alley. You know, I'm at home with DJing. I love it. And I just like going out performing for the people. You know, it's not rapping and all that stuff, but it's giving them, you know, something. And they can just like, oh, okay, I get it. You know, it's just fun to me. I love it.
I mean, you're the host of the party. I mean, we're seeing Lil Jon right now pretty much give up rapping and stick to DJing. I mean, when you can go out there and move the crowd with just hitting that one switch and the place erupts and the hands in the air. I mean, it's a powerful, powerful feeling. And you know what's amazing about Japan and so many other cultures around the world is they emulate what they saw. The lowriders, the look, the caps, the sunglasses. I mean, whatever you guys took from the streets of Compton has now become an institution around the world, and it's really exciting to see music be such a universal language. Because, like you say, you made this for your own pleasure. Hope people liked it. And it boggles the mind that 30 years later, somebody is still talking about, this record or what you did. Again, it's our supreme pleasure to, give a nod to you guys, because one of the things we're doing at the IES Hip Hop Honors this year is by honoring N.W.A. and the family tree and seeing the next generation. We've invited out, Cube's kids and Ren's kids, and Dre's son's going to be there, and just seeing that next generation, out there. We are actively starting the drive to see and really demand that N.W.A. gets elected to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame next year. We know you guys were nominated this year. I know that was great company to be in there with Public Enemy. I know Chuck D knows and demands. He's going to be at IES. He's going to demand that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame put N.W.A. right in there as the 4th only hip-hop group ever. You got Grandmaster Flash, Furious 5, you got Run DMC, you got the Beastie Boys, and you have Public Enemy. But to see you guys go in as number 5 is that first, the finger on the hand. That's the founding fathers of hip-hop to so many of us. And this is where the drive begins. Publicly, next week, right here from the NoHo Arts District, we've got all the media there, and we're demanding, and we're going to get everybody to go out there and put the word out. We are going to get N.W.A. elected to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and see that the great impact you guys have had in music is put up there. That's our hip hop Mount Rushmore. You know, you got the 5 faces to it, and you got 5 faces in your group. But you know, we're going to honor that, and it's exciting to reassemble so many members of the family and the offspring and all that. What does it mean to you to see you know, people come back together this many years later and celebrate the great feelings they had that this music gave them?
I mean, like I said, it's just honored, you know. I mean, I can't think of too many better words than that. I mean, it's just a privilege to me, you know. You know, us, you know, we started something that we never intended to go this far. I mean, never even thought of, you know. All we was thinking about was just making a little money. That was the key, just a little money. That's it. And people still talking about us. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I mean, who's in there? The Beatles, Rolling Stones. You know, we talking about some major hitters there. You know, and to be a part of that, that's, you know, I can take that to the grave right there. That would be beautiful right there. That's wonderful. And the people just still talking about it. Still re-releasing some, you know, albums again, you know. Wow. You know, I'm shocked. You know, even a movie, you know, just, it's a lot going on.
Well, you know, we know there's surprises coming up. We can't divulge them all right now, but stay tuned. You're going to be hearing some groundbreaking announcements, you know, from DJ YELLA's involvement with some very, very big things coming up. It's going to keep the legacy alive. It's going to have tens of thousands of people rocking out there to, again, the legacy that is Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, MC Ren, Ice Cube, and our very, very special guest tonight, DJ YELLA. Again, we can't thank you enough for coming down. Again, as far as the IES Hip Hop Honors go, like we always say, you're either going to be there and carry that memory to your grave, or you're going to read about it later like the masses and say, man, what did I miss? Why didn't I know about this, or why didn't I care enough to go out there? So again, IESFest.com will give you all the information. It's a very fleeting moment now to get involved. But if you make music, you produce it, you manage artists, you run a label, you make videos, you want to make movies, documentaries, you want to get involved in the touring business, merchandise, whatever it is, that's why we do IES every year, to really spark and create collaborations and opportunities for independent artists and creative people. So again, YELLA, we thank you so much for coming down tonight.
Oh, no problem. I mean, I'm honored to be here.
Well, thank you so much, and we'll see you next week at the IES Hip Hop Honors. It's going to be our pleasure. N.W.A. going into the Hall of Fame. That is our goal, and we're not going to sleep till it happens. So here's some more information on IES right now. We'll see you next time on the road to Hollywood.
Hey, what up? This is Corey from Slipknot.
This is Matt Sorum from Velvet Revolver.
What's up? It's your boy Mac 1-0.
Hey, this is Mike Inez from Alice in Chains.
What's up? This is Be Real from Cypress Hill.
What's up? I'm Sean from Yellow Card.
It's your boy Warren G.
I'm Brooks Wackerman from Bad Religion.
Hey, yo, this is Method Man.
This is Mick Jones, Foreigner.
I got a question for you. Are you serious about moving your creative career forward? Then you need to be at IES.
If you're a musician out there, you got a band, you want to rock, don't sit down on your ass and wait for someone to knock on your door.
You can do it yourself. Don't wait for nobody. Do your thing, man. You know, life is short. You only live once.
Totally independent, and I love it.
Everything's important about the indie world. It has been for a long time.
You got more control, and you make 10 times as much money. 10 times more money.
Don't wait for the record label, do it yourself.
People need to hear the music that's in your head, that's in your fingers, that's in your heart. So get out there and let's hear it.
Because of the internet and because of the greed of those old school executives at these record companies,
The power is now in your hands, artists.
Take back your art and don't sell yourself cheap or short to anyone.
If you believe in your music, if you believe in your gift, if you believe what God has given you, make sure you go to IES, show the world what you got. It's going to be going down here in Los Angeles, and it's something that gets all you independent artists getting going on that drive, doing what you guys got to do, man.
Be independent. Don't be afraid to be independent.
You gotta be a part of doing you first, and that means independence. I implore you to go to the IES, the Independent Entertainment Summit, and do your thing.
If you think you know what you're doing in this music business, I don't care who you are, there are things you will learn.
The indie way is the way, you know. The large corporations have basically disintegrated. They're looking to the indie community to create the music and create the genesis of what's going to be the next environment.
If you started a new band and you're having a little bit of trouble figuring out where to go next, or what you should be doing, who you should be talking to, whether you need a record label or how to get your music distributed, you need to go to the Indie Entertainment Summit. That's the place where